Hello. I thought I would do a little knitting update. I haven't really gotten any knitting done in the last few days, but I have some. I think this is just the same as when I showed it last. I don't think I've done any knitting since I tried it on. I don't know, it's just been a busy few days. But I just wanted to share an update. First of all, I am loving this balaclava. I don't really love looks-wise. I think the yarn is beautiful. The pattern is nice. A little bit out of my comfort zone. But it's very warm. And the cold weather was making my ears hurt because I don't really have any hats or anything. So I knit this for that purpose, and it's working very well. It's very warm. Today I actually layered this scarf on it because a lot of my sweaters, the necklines are a bit wide. I think I only have one sweater that does not leave a gap between my neck and the balaclava because you can't really make it longer or it just bunches up in the front and stuff, and it bunches up in the back as well. So regardless, there's just always that gap in the back. So I decided I've been trying to give this sweater. This is the Lady Catkin pullover by Fox and Folk, which I love the pattern. I love the design. But with my homespun, you can't even really see. So I really like the pattern. But with this yarn and also making it short sleeve, I tried to give it a fair chance. It's just not working. I don't enjoy wearing it. There's only been one time where it was actually convenient for it to be short sleeves because it's too warm for the warmer weather. But the short sleeves makes it too cold to wear the rest of the time. And I'm limited in yarn quantity. I had thought about when I first made this yarn, I was thinking I'd make a vest. But the vest pattern I wanted to use needed a finer yarn and more yardage. And I was having a hard time finding a vest that used the yardage that I had. I didn't have enough yarn, and I couldn't think of any yarn to hold it with. So I've decided I'm going to tear this out, rip it out, and I'm going to make it into a shawl/scarf. I'm not quite decided on what pattern I'm going to make. I think I might make the Sophie shawl. I'm pretty sure I'm going to do that one. I'm not sure. I just want a basic design. And one that I can use every bit of this yarn for. I have like 927 yards, I think, of this yarn. And I used every scrap of it to make this. So that would be a good way to use it. It is homespun, so I can't really weigh it and do it until halfway. So I'll have to guess a little bit. But I think I'm going to do that and just make a shawl to wear as a scarf. I could wear it like I'm wearing this scarf. I could wear it as a shawl, scarf, whatever. I think that'll work well in my wardrobe right now. I also have a little bit of yarn from this balaclava I made. Not much, just a small amount. And I'm considering knitting with that until I run out of it for a Sophie scarf, but then using some pink that I have from the same friend that I have to check though. I don't know if I think there might be different weights. I feel like maybe the pink is a worsted weight, so I'm not sure about that. I need to check to see if they're a similar weight of yarn because I think that could look cute. The half brown and the half pink. I don't normally like color blocking, but I think that might look cute. I'm not sure. So if you have any ideas, let me know. As far as knitting stuff, I don't think there's... As far as knitting news though, I don't think there's really anything else. I'm kind of, I don't know, I haven't been knitting since I last updated you. Because, I don't know if you've ever felt this, but when you leave a project, it's hard to get back into doing it sometimes. Because you kind of lose the motivation, or at least I do. So I've not knit on this at all, and I actually don't even know where the needle is. My 5th needle is, so I need to find that. But I think I'm going to try to work on that tonight, because I just need to knit like 2 more inches, I think. And then I'll be ready for the toe. So I need to get started on that before I forget what I'm even doing. So I'm already starting to forget what I'm doing. Sure, you can show it.
There's not many colors, so I only did these colors.
This is Naomi's pot holder she's making. So she has purple and red on the top, alternating, and then like a limey green, and then the bottom is light and dark blue, alternating.
And then
Are you gonna
green to weave across?
That's what I was gonna ask, is what color you're doing for that one. So it'll be all green for the rest of the loops, going the opposite direction. Those pot holder loops are really nice. You can buy them in bulk. I'll see if I can figure out where Mom buys them and leave a link in the description. Because I know we bought them from a few different places over the years, but they got more popular a few years ago, and maybe like 8 years ago, 10 years ago. Just wait. They got more popular like 8 or 10 years ago, and they were making a lot of kits for kids. But the problem is they used like cheap polyester and acrylic to make the loops, and those don't work well. They melt, and they don't have much insulation. They don't insulate well, so they don't really work very well. But what is it? Oh, a little gun. Who made it for you?
Yeah, I made it.
Oh, you made it? Here,
The chocolate.
show it. That's cute. Let me see. Azariah, wisdom, your black and white. Azariah made this cute little gun with his chocolate wrapper.
No, with somebody's chocolate wrapper.
With somebody's chocolate wrapper, not yours.
Yeah.
That's cute, buddy. Good job. You should go show Mom.
Mm-hmm.
I like that how you made the little trigger.
This is it. No, I didn't make a trigger.
Yeah.
Was that an accident?
The hammer. Is that what you mean?
Look, this is
To cock it?
No, and then we open this, and we
Yeah.
put a bullet in, and we cock it.
Anyways, that is what I am working on or not working on. What are you making? Nice. I'm going to try to get some progress done on this tonight. Because I have a lot of plans for other knitting projects I need to do. I'm excited about turning this into a scarf, though, because I think I'll wear it a lot more. Hello, I started that video last night, but I didn't end up taking the sweater out. Though I think I was actually just asking for ideas, but I've decided I am going to make the Sophie shawl. I've decided that Mom and I will be making shawls at the same time as each other, because she is working on making a shawl with some orange yarn. I managed to find the end on the sleeve. I'm going to unravel the sleeves first because I had to pick up stitches for them. I think I'm going to weigh this and then give an extra amount, consider an extra amount of it on the side that has the thicker yarn, if that makes sense. I'll weigh it instead of knitting until I've reached half the amount, I think I will continue knitting until I have reached. So the Sophie shawl takes, the largest size takes, would only use like exactly half my yarn. So I'm going to make it larger instead of making 2, though I could make a hood or something and make another scarf, but I think I just want a larger shawl scarf. So I'll probably just use it all up in this one project. This yarn kind of felted together a little bit, so it's sticking, but it's not too big of a deal. Anyway, I will probably weigh it and then give another however many grams to one side instead of knitting until I've used half the yarn. I feel like I'm saying that in the most confusing way possible, but you get the point. This yarn, I think I've told you before, it's called Blueberry Smash, and I'll have to get, the roving was called that. I'll have to get a better video. I want to say again, I do love this pattern. It has a bunch of baubles on it, 2 lines of baubles, and some really pretty flowers. However, with how thick my yarn is, you really can't see the flower design hardly at all. That's on a good one. And so it just looks like a bunch of random holes in my knitting. Not the look we want. So I think this will make a much better use of the yarn. And it will be nice and warm. I've already been enjoying, I have this wool scarf and I've been layering it over my balaclava. I think I talked about that last night, but it is so much warmer. So I think that, like, I don't want to wear this scarf every single day, and there is still a little bit of an area that doesn't get warm enough on my neck, like not really my neck, it's my back, between my sweaters, some of my sweaters, and my like hood scarf. So I think that this will be very useful. I don't really like wearing, I do have a winter coat from like 1950s, and I love it, but last year when I was using it a lot, I was cooking with our griddle, and I didn't realize my sleeve was trailing on our griddle as I was cleaning it, so it kind of got some oil on it, and I have yet to clean it, unfortunately. And I also just don't want something like that to happen again. I really need to clean that coat, but I haven't. I'm hoping it's not stained. But it was just too cold. I didn't want to deal with it, and so then I waited again until it was cold, so I think I'm just gonna have to suck it up and do it. Look at that. Now it's coming out a lot faster. It's like blue ramen. Yeah, now that I've figured out a plan for this, I'm feeling much happier because I was feeling bad for not wearing it. I tried really hard, and I wore it for almost a week straight with different outfits, trying it with different things, and it's not practical. I do really want to make this pattern again, though, and make it long sleeve, possibly half sleeve. If I'm using a lighter yarn, that would make sense. But yeah, that is it. I did something today, though, and I'm very excited. I'll let you guys leave guesses in the comments. I won't tell you now because I'll probably do a separate video on it, but I ordered something today for a project that I have been wanting to try. It's a art form craft thing, and I have wanted to try it since I was probably 5 years old. Like, it wasn't like a really strong idea, but it was just like a vague, oh, I'd like to try that someday. That looks interesting. That looks cool. It's kind of a more unknown craft, or I've never met anyone that knows how to do this craft. I have, at least in this particular way, I've met people familiar with it. I've seen people on Instagram and Pinterest and on old blogs know how to do it, but it's not a very well-known craft, and I'm hoping to learn it. So I got a book on it and put in an offer on some of the tools for this craft. So leave your guesses in the comments because I am very excited to try this. I'm going to be doing it takes a few different supplies to do this craft, and I didn't want to buy all of them now before I even know if I enjoy it. So I'm gonna kind of do a make and do setup, but I did get a book full of instructions for this craft, and I'm very excited. in my spinning, my yarn. This part is very thick and overspun. It's almost like rope. It's not super nice. This yarn was more consistent, but a little bit under spun. But I did pretty good at keeping the thickness mostly consistent. Some parts it's a little bit thicker, but that's mainly because it's a little bit underspun. It's definitely interesting. I'm trying to decide, when I made this sweater, I purposely did it to where, the thickest yarn was at the beginning. So this is the first yarn I spun. So I made sure that was towards the beginning of the project so that the heavy yarn at the bottom would not pull on the sweater and cause unnecessary strain on the garment. I'm trying to decide how I should do the shawl, because I was thinking I would use the yarn from the sleeve to start it, only one of them, and then use the other one for the end. But now I'm saying that this is pretty thick, so I don't know. I probably will still. I might weigh just the larger skein of yarn and knit until I've used half of it by weight, and then start decreasing and using this yarn, which might leave me with some extra. Because, no. Okay, so I've been trying to think about how this will ball up. Whenever I am done, I will actually have my thickest at the beginning. So I'll be starting with my thickest yarn. So I will actually knit until I've reached half of it, and then maybe use one of these skeins. I don't know, trying to figure out the yardage on uneven yarn is kind of hard because I don't want to have wasted yarn. I'm getting back to the more consistent stuff now. But winding this up is making me want to try again with spinning. I want to make some more yarn. This is the bobble row, that's why it's doing that.
Wait, what happened? It switched. You were going that way, so it goes that way.
It's because that's the short rows. So see how it's long on that side? I went back and forth for part of the row, not the whole row, to add more fabric. Yeah. That bit bright blue, Naomi.
Yeah. I was like, well, this, I think I didn't kite her either.
It was roving. That was just, I made it. Yeah. 927 yards.
It's